If you're doing all the right things in your business, showing up, creating content, trying to stay consistent, but you keep hitting this quiet wall where your motivation dips and you start wondering what you're actually supposed to focus on next. Well, this video is for you. I'm Leah Sparrow, and I help online service providers build businesses that create consistent revenue without burning themselves out by designing a client acquisition process that fits how they want to sell and the life they actually want to live. At some point, most business owners ask two very real questions. The first one is, do I really need to do all of this stuff to grow my business and bring cash in and serve clients? That's what I talked about in the previous video. Check the description for a link to that. The next question shows up. What am I actually supposed to focus on? That's what we're talking about today, because you could be doing a lot of things and still feel completely unclear about where your energy should go next. That's not failure. That's a signal. This shows up at a very specific stage of business. So early on, you're just trying to get something working, anything at all, just what will bring in a client. That's when you're testing, when you're figuring things out in your business. And that's completely normal. We all do it. No judgment here. But once you start getting traction, even the modest little bit of traction, the next question becomes, how do I keep this going without burning myself out? Most business owners aren't taught that these are different stages that require different types of decisions. So they keep doing more of what worked before, even when it starts costing them too much in energy and money and time. This is exactly what happened to me. Social media worked really well for me. I made $10,000 months using Facebook. I loved it, loved my clients. Everything was great, but the problem wasn't the results. The problem was that I couldn't hold it all anymore. I started asking myself, oh my gosh, I've got all these clients. How do I serve them, continue bringing in the results? And also, how do I run this business so it can continue to bring clients in? It's the pace, the noise, the constant activity of Facebook that got me. I'm someone who needs quiet. Even when I hired someone, it still wasn't quite working out for me. It was just a lot. I needed space to think. I needed time away from people to reset. Now, that's just my personality. That's just who I am. I'm not bashing Facebook. So over time for me, social media stopped fitting the way I wanted to work with my business and the way I wanted to serve my clients. So the real question I had to ask wasn't, why don't I like Facebook anymore? Because I still hang out on Facebook. I still do, but I'm not on there near as much. I'm not focusing on it as a way to get clients. The real question was, why doesn't my business feel good to run anymore? I mean, I literally was like, just didn't want to wake up in the morning and do it anymore. My passion was gone. Why? I was burned out, man. So what I didn't do was panic. I didn't panic. I didn't immediately pivot and say, I need to serve somebody else. I need to create a new program. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I didn't jump to the next shiny thing, because I've been here, done that many times. I've been on YouTube before, and I kept pivoting in the past. And this time I wanted to be more intentional. So I sat with it. I reviewed my offers, how I delivered them, how I wanted clients to experience working with me, where I wanted personal touch, where I wanted automation, and what kind of energy I could actually sustain long term. That's business owner thinking. And that's what led me back to YouTube intentionally. I didn't shift who I wanted to serve. I didn't do any of that. I just said, you know what? It's the platform that's holding me back. And it was also a little bit of, I need to review my services and really think about how I want to serve my clients. I always do that. You always want to evolve in your services so you can bring better results for your clients. Now, I want to be clear, because in this video, I'm going to use YouTube as a case study. I'm not using YouTube as an example because everyone should use YouTube. I'm using it as a case study to show you how I regulate my nervous system around a lot of things. So it is SEO based. YouTube is one of my favorites. Doesn't mean it's the best for you. SEO-based platforms make this decision-making process very visible, so that's why I'm using YouTube as an example. And in a follow-up video to this one, video number 3, check the description for the link, I'll talk about social media specifically. That's Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, all of them, how it works differently when it helps and when it drains you. But right now, I want you to hear how I evaluate whether something is actually working without losing my freaking mind. Because let's face it, YouTube is notoriously slow in growth. Facebook, social media, LinkedIn, they're very fast in growth. And at the right time, they can be very useful. But long term, in my opinion, social media is not the way to go. That's why I went back to YouTube. I wanted a slower growth, less noise, less chaos, and more time to focus on my passions, more time to tweak the things that I really love creating and creating in a way that I really enjoy. So when I looked at YouTube, I'm not thinking, how do I monetize YouTube? I'm actually thinking, how is my client acquisition process getting filled? To keep myself grounded, I look at 3 metrics weekly. That's it. I honestly don't stalk my channel. Don't do that. That'll drive you insane. But for one, views means awareness. Are people seeing the content? Is YouTube starting to understand who this is for? Is it steadily rising? That tells me the system is alive. YouTube is working for me, finding my audience. Number 2 is click-through rate. Now this means there's interest. This means they saw my channel, saw the video, and said, I think I'll click. Did they come in? Did the message resonate enough to stay? That tells me the right people are finding me. I got them to click. Number 3 is watch time. Now this builds trust with people, and this is the hardest metric to increase on YouTube because it does take skill, and that's on me. Watch time is all on me. So I ask myself, are people staying? Are they listening? Are they coming back? This is the hardest metric to grow. I cannot emphasize that enough. And the most important for long-term consistency, it's watch time. So I study why people stay. I refine. I improve. I ignore the people telling me that they can help my channel grow. I ignore those dips in my stats every once in a while because I'm looking at where the strategy lives, not catering to so much of the algorithm and the hype that people want to scream at you. When you know what your strategy is, you can put the blinders on and say, hey, look, I know what YouTube is telling me, and I'm going to stay the course. YouTube is giving me all of the green flags saying, hey, let's move forward with this. And that's how you keep blinders on, is when you know what to look at inside of your business, then you don't get so scattered and chasing everything under the sun. One of my earlier videos, for example, didn't gain traction until months later. That wasn't failure. That was feedback. It told me what to build more of. It also told me that YouTube was finally starting to figure out who my people were. This is why I check metrics weekly for direction and monthly for decisions, not daily, not obsessively, because reaction is what leads to burnout. This is where things usually fall apart when people start obsessing about the metrics on any platform. They start stacking strategies. They throw in social media. They do content. They start doing outreach, and then they throw SEO on top of it, which is notoriously slow. And also, all 3 of those are a lot to learn. So suddenly everything feels essential. Everything's top priority. Everything's got to be done now. That's not a strategy. That's just adding pressure to yourself. If stopping one thing makes you panic, the system doesn't have enough containment yet. So sit down, think about it. Think about how you want to serve your people. Now I'm going to get real with you really quick. Every platform has pros and cons. That's why I'm not pro YouTube or pro Facebook, because the only question that matters is this: are these cons you can live with in this season of your business? Facebook moves fast. YouTube moves slow. Neither is better. They just ask different things from you. And you have to ask yourself, can I stick with it for at least 1 year? Once you understand what stage you're in your business, the platform question becomes much, much clearer. In the next video number 3, I'll put a link in the description. I'll talk more about social media, how to tell if it's supporting your business or quietly draining it. This kind of clarity, knowing what to focus on, what to simplify, and what actually deserves energy is what I help my clients build inside the Cash and Clients Without Chaos 90-day program. We focus on plans. We refine them, because consistent revenue comes from systems you can sustain, not from doing everything at once. If this helped you see your business more clearly, you're exactly where you need to be. I'll see you in the next video.